Hey, welcome
back
to
the
After
Hours
Podcast
with
Ricky and
Alyssa. We took a break
we took a break
again
again.
because we had nothing.
Was it that?
I'm pretty.
No, that's what it was. Okay, yeah, because
Were you trying to figure it out?
I thought Rumor was supposed to come on last week, but it was this week. But now there's no Rumor because
Does that mess with it?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I hope not, because it's supposed to turn off after a minute.
Okay.
So whatever. But Rumor was supposed to come on this week, but schedules could not merge.
Yeah. Conflict.
Conflict
in time.
of scheduling conflict. That's what it is.
Yep. Professional
So,
terms.
It's just back to us. But luckily enough, I do have enough content from the past 2 weeks.
Well, that's good.
But Liz, do you have anything before I go on my tangents?
My therapist told me I only have 6 sessions left with her, and that makes me sad.
Yeah.
And I don't know how to feel about it. But here we are. But she said she's proud of me because I'm not just bailing and I'm still going.
I drank a lot of that energy drink really quick.
Yeah, you did.
That was kind of scary.
I have to, force myself to go.
What, to therapy now?
Yeah, because I'm like, well...
What's the point, really?
Yeah.
Well, you see, Alyssa.
But that's why I'm still going.
Growth.
Yes.
Is the point.
Yeah, because I told her last when I had Caitlin as my therapist over the summer, I was skipping, every other week. Because I was like, I'm just going to get a new one anyway. But I'm not doing it this time.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Alrighty then.
Sorry, Caitlin. I doubt you're watching this, but I apologize, and I miss you.
Whatever, I guess.
I threw overhand today.
Oh.
For the first time in, 2 months.
And?
It was fine. It felt awkward.
Okay.
I only threw 20 balls.
Are you going to throw overhand in the games?
No, not yet.
No? Okay.
Not
We're
yet.
saving that heat for fucking NECs?
Yep.
Okay.
Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. We got a new assistant coach.
We did.
Her name's
Not
Ryan.
They did.
Her name's Ryan. She's cool. She's only a year older than me, and that's weird.
That is weird.
But her quads are huge. She's very strong. I don't know. I stalked her Instagram.
Okay.
The whole team stalked her Instagram.
Yeah, understandable.
She played pro softball for a year.
Oh, not college? Like actual professional?
Yeah,
Oh.
for a year.
Good for her.
Mm-hmm. She's cool. My birthday's next week.
Yes, it is.
I'm old.
Yes,
24.
she is.
Wow.
Yeah.
Lots of, I can't say this word. I'm having a crisis.
Existential?
I can't say it.
Existential.
Existential.
Sounded like you said it.
I don't know. It always sounds weird out of my mouth.
I had an internal crisis.
Did you?
When I was turning 17.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. I would break down every day. 18 was kind of fine. I don't know if it was 17 or 18. I think it was 17 though. 18 was fine though. But I remember talking to my therapist about it and she's like, "Why?" I was like, "I don't know. It's scary. I'm old." So I know what you feel like.
Shut up.
Anyways, anything else?
I wrote a paper in 2 hours.
How long?
5 pages.
That's impressive, actually.
Yep. I think that's it. I don't have much to say.
Hair?
Oh, I'm actually trying to make my waves wave.
Wave.
Wave. If you have any tips, let me know.
In the comments down below.
Bars.
Heavy on that.
Okay, I think that's it.
Okay. So starting 2 weeks ago, it was party weekend for me, for moi. That was insane. I miss going on benders. I really do. Freshman year was goated for benders. Even sophomore year was goated for benders. But it was great. I loved drinking 3 nights in a row and spending time with friends. But
I'm glad you added the spending time with friends part because the drinking part was.
it just sounded like alcoholism. That is why I added with friends, but I do like my friends. Anyways, but yeah, the only bad part about it was literally me like staying up until like 3 a.m. and then like waking up at like 10 and being like, oh wow, half the day is gone now.
10 a.m. is not half the day.
I know, but for me who wakes up at like 6.
Yeah, you've been doing that.
Yeah.
Good for you.
No. I hate it.
Then don't do it.
I ain't got shit to do. Sue me. Anyways. But yeah, first party of the weekend was on a Thursday. It was a going away party. That was fun. Second, Friday was Trinity's surprise birthday party that I hoped to plan a little. That was fun. She was shocked, to say the least. Oh, and then I have complaints about that party.
Do you?
Yeah. Again with
Oh, you do.
Do you know these?
I know one of them. That guy that told me to take the stairs.
There's a guy here. Not a lot of people like.
He's
a
rude.
Huge staring problem.
He's just rude.
To everyone. No one really likes him.
He told me I needed to take the stairs. Not as a fat joke. As a, why are you in the elevator joke.
Which is strange because you were going down from 6 to the lobby.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, who takes the stairs unless they have to?
Yeah. And that was when I pulled my quad.
Yeah, so that was even crazy.
And I told him that, and he was like, "Well, I have to go more than half that you do, or something." I don't even know what he said, but he was annoying, and he made me angry. Parched?
Yeah, I really am. That's gonna hit me like a brick, though. Okay. So what was that noise?
What noise?
I heard like a. I don't know. Whatever. I'm facing him and this kid we call Ducci. Love Ducci. He's a freshman. Love him though. And it was them two versus me. Mm-hmm. And then it was them versus me and Trinity. But both games, he's making fun of the way that I throw. Again, someone making fun of the way that I throw. He's like, what's up with this fucking chef's kiss shit? I was like, what the fuck are you talking about, chef's kiss? He's like, you throw like this. When have you ever seen me throw like this?
You don't.
I don't. I don't.
Like this.
I don't. You want to know who did that? Who did chef's kiss?
One of the boys.
Uh-huh. Cooper.
Was it him?
Yes.
Oh.
Because I remember being like, the fuck? And then I can't remember how Dylan threw. Nick Nick did the same move the girl did where it was
Oh yeah, he threw it hard.
and that shit pissed me the fuck off. There was one time.
Why are you like pegging it? The ball?
Oh, I thought you were asking me why I was pegging the microphone. I was like, I'm moving it. What the fuck are you talking about? There was one time it was Nick and Ashley versus me freshman year. Mm-hmm. And Nick had one cup and he bounced it. And he missed it.
Uh-huh.
He bounced it in the middle of the table and there was water in the middle. Oh, no. Wait, I got to find the video of it.
The video.
Yeah. Because I knew I was going to win. Because it was Nick. But what's it called? Anyways. So I was like, I don't throw like Cooper one bit. I don't really throw like any of them. I think that maybe the one that I throw the most like is Dylan. Because I feel like I remember him. Yeah, I remember him doing like a normal.
You throw it normally. I don't know why people.
I don't know either. I just.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? But I'm like, all right. Whatever. I'll let his comments slide. And then he makes a few more. And I literally look at him and I was like, dude, what the fuck are you talking about? I'm beating your ass like tremendously. And then I won. And he goes, damn. Yeah. Like, you can't say shit again when I'm fucking beating your ass. What is this? Oh, this is when someone burped in our faces. or like belched or
I don't
whatever.
remember that.
This was the week of my alcoholism.
Yes.
Yeah.
You everything deserved a drink.
I don't know. I just think it's stupid that people make fun of the way you throw unless you really go and. Can you stop moving?
It's getting comfy.
Thanks. Unless you like go and like try to hit the cup, then it gets fucking annoying really quick. But yeah, then I texted the girl that was hosting the party and I was like, "Hey, do you want me to make a playlist?" And she was like, "Oh my god, yeah, I was literally just gonna throw on like a random ass playlist and whatever people got, people got." And I was like, "Yeah, okay." So I'm making a playlist based off of Trinity's like music tastes, and I'm trying to merge like her music taste with like just popular music going on.
Mm-hmm.
So there was like 2 Sabrina Carpenter songs, some Ariana in there. I named it Holy Trinity.
Nice.
The Spins, because when we were in Green Bites, she was singing that. Justin Bieber, Nokia, Sticky, Doechii, a lot of female rap, some like Beyonce, actually a lot of Beyonce. I don't know. It was a good playlist. And someone, I know exactly who it was, white person, took the aux
It's rude.
in the beginning of the party. And I was like, uh-oh, we have a problem. Because
Don't mess with Ricky's playlist.
no, I do it everything on purpose. Don't fuck with my playlist. And then this random girl, from what I've heard, this girl walks into the hostess room all the time when she's playing music.
Mm-hmm.
And just walks in.
Oh.
Are
they friends?
I don't think that close. She just like walks in to see what she's doing.
That's weird.
And I'm like, yeah. So she heard the music going on and she walked in with her friends.
Mm-hmm.
And then starts feeding off of the alcohol. Then goes and starts playing the most random ass music ever. It's like Glorilla, Megan Thee Stallion, back to Glorilla, back to Flo Milli. It's just all female rap and sexy red, sexy red, sexy red, sexy red. And Trinity's like, "Yo, who the fuck is on Ox? Because what?" And I was like, "Well, I had a whole playlist. Someone stole it." So every 5 to 10 minutes, we're trying to take the iPad back and go back to the fucking playlist. Mm-hmm. And somehow this bitch is still getting aux. I was fuming the whole night. I was so pissed. I left at midnight, which is crazy. Anyways. Oh, and then she would also skip them 30 seconds in.
What's the point of playing the song?
I don't fucking know. Again, bitches don't realize you could tell when a bitch has never thrown a party or been to a party. That was one of those bitches. Then I had the greatest godly dap with MJ.
Did you?
Yeah, you heard the
Nice.
like that like echo shit.
Uh-huh.
And he goes, "That was a good one." I was like, that was a good one. And then he left. I don't know.
Nikki keeps falling.
Every fucking time.
I put 3 pieces of tape.
What the fuck is up? Anyways.
Nikki don't want to stay. Nikki's tired of us.
Nikki is. Taylor's birthday. One of my best friends from home rented out a little section in the club called the Lancey's, Lower East Side. I don't know which way is an S for the viewers. So I'm just doing both.
Okay.
And originally I on the Party Full thing. You know what Party Full is?
No.
It's like this app where it's like if you throw a party, you send out the invitations through it, and then it's like yes, no, maybe, whatever.
Okay.
And for like a month, I put maybe because I was like, I don't know. Depends on who's going because I don't want to be the only one from her hometown friends there, and it's all her work friends. Because it was also a combined birthday party with one of her coworkers. So I was like, it's gonna be a lot of work friends, people I don't know. I'm not going to have the most grand time of them all, you know? So then I was like, you know what? I'll go. Because originally I got Kelly to come with me, and then he backed out last minute. But that's Kelly Kells for you. So that week of, I'm texting Taylor. I was like, who's coming? She's like, these people, these people. I was like, bet. I can get down with these people. This is like my like hometown like big friend group. Like I'm set. And so I go, and I pre-gamed a little. Mind you, I started drinking at 6 p.m. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I went to Green Bites and got dinner really quick. Scarfed that down. Because I was like, I'm going to be fucking late. It started at 8. So I was like freaking the fuck out. Trying to find an outfit, whatever. And so then I have some Twisted Tea Tall Boy. Then I pour the rest in a Powerade bottle and then dip.
Yep.
And this guy on the train, I didn't even write this down. I fully forgot to. This guy, I have to walk to J Street. So I go, waiting for the train. Train comes. I said, cool. It's rush hour.
Yeah.
So even though it was Saturday, rush hour, still always rush hour. So I am standing like right by the door. This guy walks up, stands right next to me, and I look at him. I go, okay. He's kind of giving the vibe of crackhead. Did I tell you this?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's gonna just let you go.
Kind of not.
It's gonna pretend I didn't know.
I don't know. And I was like looking at his whole outfit because he was like, So automatically that gives crackhead. So I look at his whole outfit. I was like, looks new. Could not be a crackhead. But then he's still making the noises, and then he shuts up. And I was like, all right, whatever. So he like asked me. He was like, oh, is this train going uptown? And I was like, yes. And he was like, okay, is it gonna stop off at Broadway Lafayette? And I said, yes. I said 2 more stops, whatever. He's like, all right, thank you. He mumbles something under his breath. I don't understand it. And then like 2 minutes go by. He's like, 1 more stop. And I'm like, yep, 1 more stop. And then he goes, you see that woman over there? And I thought he said, because I have my headphones on. So I thought he said, is that a video over there? And he's pointing to like that like square subway screen thing. That's on the train. I was like, yeah, that's a video. He was like, you like her body? I said, because at this point I didn't know what he was talking about. He was like, but you like her body, right? And I was like, I shrugged my shoulders because I'm like looking at the screen and it's 2 kids in Africa. So, you know, didn't feel the most comfortable commenting on a child's body. And then he was like, but you like her body. And then now he's pointing to this random lady, which I thought he was pointing to the guy right next to her, but I don't know. And I shrugged my shoulders again, and I started looking away, and I'm like, God, please make this train get to Broadway Lafayette faster, because now I'm starting to feel uncomfortable. He goes, you've seen better, though, right? And I just, like, shrug my shoulders, and he, like, laughs, and then finally it gets to Broadway, and he was like, thanks, man. And I was like, no problem. And I was just like, okay. I don't know what happened, but whatever. So then I get to Delancey Street. I'm walking. I'm taking my time. I was like, Tay, you there? She's like, yep, they're cleaning the floor, though, upstairs. So we're just on the main floor. Didn't know Delancey's was this packed at 8 p.m. on a Saturday on the main floor. And I was like, whoa, this is crazy. But as I'm walking there, a guy in a cow costume, inflatable cow costume, is just chilling on the corner. So, cool. Somehow I got to Delancey's without my GPS. I mean, I had it on, but I wasn't looking at it.
Nice.
I was like, this seems familiar. Let me go this way. I totally could have gotten lost. I could have ended up on the bridge, but I didn't.
You didn't.
So, whatever. And then, what's it called? Then I get to Delancey's. The bouncer's like, oh, it's a no hat policy. You can't wear hats inside. And I'm like, I was so close to being like, can you like hold it? And then if he said no, I was about to put it in a bush somewhere and hope for the best.
Which hat was it? That one.
Yeah. So I was like, all right, whatever. He's like, you can bring it inside, just don't like wear it. And I was like, all right, bet. So I'm like fucking walking around with the hat half of the night, fucking looking dumb as fuck. And so I find Taylor. Well, no, first off, I'm waiting by the entryway because I'm like, I don't know where Taylor is. I don't see Taylor. I don't even see Rob, her boyfriend. So I'm just like, I'm just going to stay here. People are dancing and staring at me like, what is he doing? He looks like a creep. Sorry, guys. I'm waiting for my bestie for the restie. And I hate myself. That was cringe as fuck. Anyways. What?
That's funny.
Okay. Anyways. So then I see her. I haven't seen her since August. And yeah, so that was nice. We go up to the rooftop. She's like, Maya's here. And I was like, Maya? And she was like, D'Angelo. I was like, holy fuck. So then I started talking to Maya D'Angelo. Mind you, I haven't seen Maya since, I almost said 5th grade. Wow, that's crazy. High school graduation.
Wow.
So
4 years ago.
that was a full-on reunion right there between me and her. We were talking our lives away for half of the night. Because for the first hour, we were the only two there. So it was kind of like we had no choice. Yeah, me and Maya didn't really have a choice to talk to each other or not. But I did actually really want to be like, what the fuck is new, bro? I have not seen you in 4 years. Like, let's sit down and talk.
Let's poop together.
That's weird. Anyways, so I really enjoyed our conversations. Anyways, it was great. Kind of bonding experience. Then the other girls in the group come. Caden comes. Caden's the only other guy that came. So me and Caden were just like, literally like this. We were literally the only guys from home. And we were like, you know what? We're vibing. And then Lucas comes with his girlfriend, Kylie, who Taylor works with. Mm-hmm. And Lucas, we all kind of were friends with in high school. He's a grade above us. He's in Travis's grade. And then Zach comes. I've never talked to Zach a day in my life. So, yeah, it was actually really nice. I got like 4 or 5 drinks and I was chugging that shit down. And it was vodka Red Bulls. So I was up. Because right when the rooftop got unlocked, like we were given the clear to go, we were like, all right, what are we gonna get to drink? And like Maya's like, I'm thinking like an Aperol spritz. Mm-hmm. Taylor's like, maybe like an espresso martini. I don't know. Maybe this. Maybe just a martini. And I'm like, I think I'm gonna get a vodka Red Bull. And Taylor looks at me and goes, I'm sorry, do you want a fucking heart attack? I was like, I've had like a lot of these in a night before. Like, what are we talking about? And whatever drink she got was so fucking good. I'm going to actually text her.
So do you know the John Pork lore yet?
The one you just told me about yesterday?
Yeah, I have more information.
Go.
I actually give you like the full breakdown.
Yay.
So, John Pork, Tim Cheese, and Simon Claw were childhood besties. They grew up together and they were all very poor and homeless.
Yeah, you already told me that.
Okay. John Pork got famous.
Uh-huh.
And kind of forgot about Tim Cheese and Simon Claw. Okay. And Simon Claw got arrested for getting caught dealing drugs.
I thought he killed someone.
No, Tim Cheese killed John Pork. Because John Pork was sleeping with his wife, Tina Cheese.
Okay.
And Mr. Beak he's getting framed for Pangu's getting framed for the murder. But Mr. Beak is trying to expose Tim Cheese for killing John Pork.
Okay.
And Tim Cheese kidnapped Agent 505. Okay. And he's on an island.
I hope you know you lost me. Like within the first 2 sentences. I hope you could see me.
I feel like you might not be able to.
I kind of missed this part about the couch where like we could just like literally look at each other.
Yeah.
It was like fine without like. Ugh. During the next break, you're gonna have to see if you see me.
Okay.
Okay. Anyways, but I don't know. Yeah, it was great. But yeah, party was great, and I was kind of feeling it like a lot. I was like, "Let's dance! Come on, y'all!" Everyone's like, "What the fuck is wrong with Ricky?" And I'm like, "Guys, let's go!"
Ricky texted me saying he didn't know how you got home.
Oh, I didn't. Oh, yeah. So I was like, "All right, I gotta leave because I have another party," and I already told Taylor that, and everyone's like, "Oh, we got Mr. Popular over here." I get there, and me and Maya are talking, and Taylor comes up to us, and you can tell she's, I think, already a little bit tipsy, and she's like, "This is Mr. fucking Spotswood." I was like, "Okay, Taylor." Whoa. And she goes, gets Rob, her boyfriend, and she's like, "Mr. fucking Spotswood is here." And I was like, chill. She's like, "Let's play some Beyonce." And I was like, "Oh my God. I love you." Anyways, like when I win a Grammy, that's how I want y'all to be for the next like 5 years after that. This is Grammy Award winning record. Anyways, so I was like, all right, I gotta leave.
You're gonna change your contact name when you win a Grammy.
To Mr. Grammy?
Yes.
Okay. Anyways, so I leave and I go, the second I get out, I said, "Uh-oh. Yo soy not knowing how to get home." So I was like, okay, train. So I go, somehow make it to the subway station, somehow pay, somehow get through. I felt like I was standing really close to the edge. I wasn't. I was at the turnstile, actually. And I checked my GPS to see when the train's coming. And it was like, train scheduled for 10:47 or some shit. It was like 11. And I said, "Uh-oh. The train's late. Yeah, I'm not staying here." So I get out, order a $40 Uber. And
Rico money came in clutch, huh?
no. But so I get out and of the subway station, and I'm like, "All right, where's this Uber?" And it's a 4-way intersection.
Okay.
So it's not like an X, is there? We'll use this. Okay. This doesn't really give X.
I know what an intersection looks like.
No, I know, but for these people, I need to plant out where I am. Go like this with your arms. Thanks. Okay. So, can you like straighten it out? Like straight, like a cross. Thanks. So I'm here, right? No, I'm here.
Okay.
This is a corner. This is a corner. This is a corner. This is a corner, right? Okay. So I'm here. I'm looking at the Uber map thing, and it goes Uber over here. So I go, okay, boop, 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 I'm here. Then it goes Uber over here. I go, okay, boop, 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 Uber over here. I go, okay, boop, 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 boop. And I'm doing that in every which direction. You can put your hands down for like what felt like 30 minutes, but I know it was 5. And I know that there were some people still waiting in the same corners. And they were probably looking at me like I was psychotic. And then like 2 days after that, I said, maybe it wasn't the Uber app malfunctioning. Maybe I was just so drunk I couldn't fucking see, which was the truth. So then I finally find the Uber. Correction. I go, you know what? I'm staying in this spot. The Uber will come to me. Thankfully, that was the right spot. And so then I'm like, is that my Uber? I'm looking at the license plate. I go, oh, that looks like it. And then I go, oh, no. That license plate started with a W. My Uber's license plate started with a T. Somehow, my drunk ass confused a W as a T. But whatever. Then I finally find my Uber. Somehow, some way I get in. I was like, hi, Uber for Ricky. And he's like, yeah, my phone's at like 6%. I was like, do you have a charger? He's like, yeah. I was like, thanks. Let's see if he made my Uber rating go down. And he drives me home. Pal's checking my location because I'm like, Pal, I don't know where I'm going right now. I genuinely was like, this is crazy. Oh, he upped it. It was at 4.8. Now it's at 4.81.
Wow.
Cool, but like, okay. Activity, I think. But yeah, anyways.
Why do you have a Band-Aid on your knee?
Funny story. So yesterday, I was on Pal's bed and I went to move to get something, and my computer mouse pad, I hit it, came back, and it was loud. It was a boom. And I like go like this, and I go, oh, there's blood on my hand. I look at my knee and I go, oh shit, it's bleeding. And it was dripping down. Turns out the mouse pad ripped a piece of skin off. And it was stuck in the mouse pad. So I go, Pal, look, it's my skin. She goes, hey, throw it away. And
Wow. Dangerous mouse pad.
yeah, I'm just covering it so it doesn't get like infected or anything. Where was I? Uber.
Uber.
So somehow I get home. I go to Trinity's room, and I was drunk as fuck. And I told her that, and she goes, really? You don't seem it. Do I ever seem like really drunk?
Sometimes.
Sometimes, right?
Yeah.
But like when I'm like really drunk.
I could tell, yeah. I can usually tell when you're sloshed.
Anyways, so yeah. So then we go to Pal's room and we go outside. I don't know. I don't really remember the rest of the night. But it was a fun night. Yeah, so that was 2 weekends ago. This weekend I went out to Carol's Place, a bar I used to go to when I was a freshman. And it was fun. It was vibes. Someone kept stealing my fucking hat, and it was someone who we went with, and I wanted to slap the fucking shit out of him. Because he does it all the fucking time when he gets drunk, and it's really fucking annoying. Anyways. So, I don't know. I started getting PTSD from that bar. Because of... Oh, that's what it was. We went to Fulton first. I had one drink. I was tipsy as fuck. And because that drink was heavy pour. Holy shit. And it was a $9 drink, and I tipped him $4 because I couldn't do math. And someone was like, yo, that's a lot. And I was like, you know what? That's fine. He gave me a free shot of Red Bull. Did I tell you this?
No.
So I asked for a vodka Red Bull, and because I was also tired. And he was like, I don't know if I have any more Red Bull, but like I'll check. And he was like, I don't, but I have a little bit. And I was like sitting out for a while, and I was like, all right. And then he was like, oh, okay. And then pours it. He goes, here's a shot. Yeah. I was like, all right. And then he was like, what else can I get you? And I was like, oh, can you just like get me a vodka crayon? And he was like, yeah. Didn't charge me for the Red Bull because it was like garbage basically at that point. Heavy pour, couldn't do math, and I said, you know what? He deserved that tip. Mm-hmm. It was like a 45% tip.
Yeah.
And you know what? He deserved it. Shot of Red Bull, free, and heavy pour, and great service. You deserve the tip. Because what? A 20% tip of $9 is what? $1.50? Something along those lines?
Yeah.
Because let's say 20% of 10 is what? $2?
Yes.
I'm not paying him. I'm not giving him $1.50 tip.
Yeah.
Then I feel like, what's the point? I'd rather. It's also $4. Like, I'd rather give you a good tip on that when it's not that much, you know? Mm-hmm. So I'm like, all right, whatever. So then we go, and Downey's like, let's go to Whitehorse. Let's go to Whitehorse. Let's go to Whitehorse. No me gusta Whitehorse. No me gusta.
Bad experience.
Severe PTSD from that fucking weird pub. Even when I walked in before the drama went down, it was just a bunch of old people staring at me. But I also, at that point, I did have split dye hair.
True.
But I also still had a hat on, so I don't know. Whatever. But I was like, all right, cool. I'm not going to White Horse. I hate to break it to you, Downey. I'm not going to White Horse. He was like, why? Wagner's there. I said, exactly. Why the fuck would I go when Wagner's there? He was like, to have conversations. I said, to have conversations with people I don't know? I was like, I feel like tonight's like a people we know only night. Like, that's just vibe. And he was like, come on. And then Pal was like, oh, Pal, and Downey's like, Pal, let's go to White Horse. And she's like, I'm not going to fucking White Horse, bro. I'm not. And he was like, why? Like, Wagner's there. She was like, what? For you to go talk to them and us just be in a fucking corner? And I was like, facts. Like, we're not going to want to talk to them. They're not going to want to talk to us. It's fine. Like, and so we're like, look, y'all go to White Horse. Us three, go to Carol's place.
Yeah.
So then we're walking to the Subway. I eat absolute ass. Pause. So there was this like cement seating outside of Fulton, which is a bar, and it's at the end. It's like a triangle where like the two benches meet. And I thought I had enough space to move over it. I tripped, fell over it, landed on my ass. Not landed on my ass. I know I did. Yeah, I did. And that was humbling. Everyone laughed. I also laughed. It was funny. And yeah. But anyway, so we get to Carol's place. I was like, fuck, I don't even want to be here really anymore. Like, this place kind of gives me not as much PTSD as White Horse, but you know what? There's good memories in that bar.
Yeah.
But I don't like who that bar is correlated with. Yeah? Jaffiel?
Jaffiel.
No, not Jaffiel. Jaffiel.
Jaffiel.
Jaffiel. Thank you. And then we end up like trying to go to another bar. At this point, it's like 3 a.m. Everything's kind of closing. We're like, look, y'all go to Delancey's, which was a 30-minute walk. 3 people sprinted. Mm-hmm. Je went home. I said, no. But yeah, that was this weekend. And then I went on a date.
That describes the date.
No, because you want to know that gave me like deja vu, but not like in like a I dreamt it way, because I did have that yesterday. But complete deja vu to... I'm finding it.
Okay.
Headlights, so please save me. I went on a date. Like, that was a complete deja vu. I was like, yeah, it wasn't the same outcome as that day. Anyways, so last night I was left alone in Martina's room for 2 hours, and I was vibing. That's why I texted you what you were doing, because I was like, I'm kind of alone. I need some human interaction. And then I said, never mind, I'm just going to vibe. So I'm vibing. And I said, you know what? I jokingly said to Dallas, I'm going to make a who the fuck did I go on a date with? And then I said, I'm going to do it. I still have to post it. So I make a...
You scared me.
So I make a whole 5-part series of it. But to give the rundown, I matched with this girl on Hinge. April Fools.
Ironic.
And yeah, okay, it's not muted. And I was like we're talking. What?
You got ice cream on his shirt.
So we were talking, and she was like, let's do something spontaneous. And I was like, ugh. No me gusta spontaneous. I have a schedule. Like, I don't want to do spontaneous. But Dallas was like, do it, do it, do it. I was like, all right, fine, whatever. So we agree. We were gonna meet in Soho, but then it was too far for her. So I was like, all right, let's do MSG. That's middle of us, whatever. And so then I get to MSG. I'm walking around. I end up in the paparazzi shots of Amine. I don't know how to say his name. You know who I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Okay.
Caroline?
Yeah.
Yep.
And so I was like, all right, that's sick. I made direct eye contact with him. It was kind of awkward, but whatever. And then, how much time do I have?
45 seconds.
I'm just going to get up. Even though I'm really comfortable. This is great. You should start doing this when you're on this side.
Okay.
Fuck, I lost my place. Where was I?
Carol's place?
We're on the date, bro. Anyways, okay.
Oh.
MSG, thank you. So yeah, Amine, cool, whatever. So she was like, "Oh, I just got off the train." I was like, "All right, where you at?" And she was like, "Times Square." I was like, "Ugh, that's far. It's either I walk or I wait, and I'd rather walk in the cold than wait in the cold." So I was like,
cold that day?
"Yeah, it was like 45, 50."
Was it rainy?
No, but my hands were cold. It was the day after the storm.
It's an aggressive piss.
He always pisses that way. Really? Yeah. Wow. So, like, it was still, like, kind of gloomy out, kind of, like, humid. Yo, the humidity today was 80%.
Yeah.
I said, whoa. I was sweating in my hoodie. Like, my, what is this? This area where it bends. What is this called?
The inner elbow?
Inner elbow, drenched in sweat. Anyways. So I was like, all right, I'll walk. So I walk, we're texting, we're laughing, whatever. I meet her, everything's great. And I was like, all right, what do you want to do? And she was like, let's walk. And I was like, all right, bet. We walked around for 3 fucking hours. And that's great and all. I like walking. Not for 3 hours.
Your cardio for the day.
Especially 3 hours in the same 2 fucking neighborhoods. Which infuriated me. But I was like, you know what? She just moved to the city. That's fine. And I was like, all right, whatever. We walked around Hell's Kitchen and we walked around Midtown. And I only been to Hell's Kitchen once, whatever. And we're cracking jokes at each other, whatever. We're talking. Everything's great. Great. Ooh, I almost threw up. That was painful to fucking get that burp out. And then, where was the first red flag? Oh, the first red flag was when she was guessing my ethnicity and she said Italian and I said no. And she said, what is it? I said Puerto Rican and black. And she goes, I just had a Mean Girls moment. And I said, excuse me? And she goes, you know, that one scene from Mean Girls where it's like, if you're from Africa, why are you white? And I said, look, I understand that I look white right now. Don't ever say that again, though. Like, please don't. And then I was like, all right, what's yours? And she was like, guess. And I was like, Portuguese. Because in her bio, she said she spoke Spanish and Portuguese and English. And I said, okay. It's like, you look more Portuguese than you look Spanish. So whatever. That was a loud crack. Holy shit. Wow. And then, oh, Taylor answered. She said, Cosmo on the Rocks. Yeah, that shit was really good. So then I was like, she was like, no, I'm not Portuguese. I'm something else. So I was like, all right, South African. Because she kind of, a lot of South Africans I've seen are white.
Mm-hmm. I played a South African team once in high school.
I talked to a South African last year, remember?
They were all white. Yes.
Yeah.
You did.
She had an accent.
Not a British one.
What?
Not a British accent.
No, it was.
Why?
They're colonized by the British.
Are they?
Yeah.
Me and geography aren't friends.
Speaking of geography, we'll get into that.
Okay.
And she was like, "Oh my god, stop! This is going in the group chat." And I was like, "Great." One of her friends was like, "But you're not black," and I was like, "Not all South Africans are black." And she was like, "I know. I promise. Me and my friends are not ignorant." First red flag, guys. First red flag. Then.
I think the first red flag was sending it in the group chat while she's on a date.
No, that was before the date.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Sorry, I jumped around. Now we're back on the date. So I was like, "Oh, do you want to go straight?" Because it was by the water. I was like, "That would be cute, whatever." She's like, "Is that by the water?" And I was like, I actually don't know because, it was my second time there. So I was like, let me check. But it looked like it was by the water. So I checked GPS. I was like, yeah, it's by the piers. She was like, "Oh, my friends told me not to go by the water." And my first reaction was, do they think I'm going to kill you? And then I said, "Rick, let's reel it in. Not everyone's out to get you." So she was like, "Yeah, my friends just say there's more crackheads by the water." Have you seen crackheads by the water, Alyssa?
No.
I haven't.
No. Every time I've gone. Never.
Never. No matter what water. None.
Nope.
And so I was like, "All right, whatever you want to do." She's like, "Let's go right instead of straight." I was like, "All right, whatever."
That doesn't make sense because it's more expensive to live near the water.
And plus, it's colder by the water.
Yeah.
They're in the subways.
Yeah.
So,
Weird.
whatever. So, we're talking, we're walking, and then she's like, "Oh, yeah, my friends told me not to go to Bed-Stuy. My friends told me not to go to Williamsburg. My friends told me not to go to this place, this place, this place, this place." All, like, decent neighborhoods for the most part. And I was like, "Okay, where do they live, though?" Because the day before that, I was in Bed-Stuy. And it was nice. Like, whatever. And she was like, "Oh, one lives in Nolito, one lives in Chelsea, one lives in Upper East Side, other Upper West Side." I was like, so all really rich places. And I wonder why they're telling you not to go to fucking, like, Lower East Side. Like, come on. I was like, all right, whatever. Obviously, your friends are fucking ignorant and they're fucking spoiled as fuck. And they think any other area besides where celebrities live is fucking garbage in New York. So I was like, all right, whatever. So then we're walking, we're talking, and she's like, "You want to get pizza?" I was like, "I'm not really hungry, but, like, you can eat, like, whatever." So we go, and we're talking, and I mentioned something about a dorm. She's like, "Wait, you live in a dorm?" And I was like, "Yeah." She goes, "How old are you?" I was like, 21. She's like, "So you're a senior?" I was like, "Yeah." She's like, "So then why do you live in a dorm?" Ma'am, shut up. But I was like, okay, let me explain the situation of how it's easier and much better socially to live in a dorm here than it is to live off campus and financially. So I explained it, and she's like, "Oh, okay, like, yeah, I get it." So then we're walking, we're talking, bada bada ba. Oh, no, sorry. We're still at pizza. She starts going on her phone. I said, uh-oh. Whatever. Before that, she was also on her phone taking pictures and sending it to her friends. I said, "Oh, so she's sending pictures to her friends to be like, this is where I am in case I stop answering." I was like, wow, she really thinks I'm about to kill her. Whatever. And then by the third picture, she goes, "Oh, sorry. Like, I just really like taking pictures of things that remind me of my friends and sending it to them." And I was like, "Oh, that's actually cute. I like that. Like, you're all good." And so then we go and we're walking, we're talking, bada 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 ba. And then she whips out her phone again, and she's like, "I'm sorry, my friend's mad at me." She's fighting with her friend throughout the whole rest of the date. And I was like, all right, whatever. Like, I understand this. And then
No, you don't.
I don't really, but whatever. And then she starts talking about all the countries she's traveled to, and I'm asking her about it, whatever. And she's from Miami, and she's talking about how much she hates Miami, whatever. And then I go more into depth into the conversations on the TikTok series that I made. But whatever. So tune into that. And then to kind of go faster with it, I drop her off at the train station. I was like, let me know when you get home. She was like, let me know when you get home. Cool. Right after we go our separate ways, I was like, I have a bad feeling about this, and I don't know why. And I was like, maybe it's because I miss Leandra. I don't, if you're watching this, but also hit me up.
No. Don't.
We'll get into that.
What?
Because now I have a question for the podcast. Now. Anyways. Because with every new girl, we have to re-rake and we have to figure out certain things. Anyways. So, also, we're going to call her Janine. Yeah. And so I'm like, okay, something tells me Janine's going to unmatch me. I'm checking every subway stop the second I get service. She doesn't unmatch me. I said, wow. Okay. So then I get home. I go, hey, I'm home. 20 minutes later, you home? No answer for the rest of the night. So I was like, maybe her phone died. Maybe she died. We'll see. I don't know. Some reason I pass out at midnight by accident, wake up at 5 a.m. by accident, wide awake too, which was the weirdest part. And then I said, let me check. No answer. Then I check Hinge. She unmatched me. And I said, wow. So then I told Dallas, I'm like, Dallas, I'm going to text her. So I text her and I'm like, saw you unmatched me. An explanation would have been nice. Wish you all the best though. Text till this day has not gone fucking through because she blocked my fucking number. I said, bro, what the fuck did I do?
DMs her on Instagram.
Well, I found her Instagram.
I know you did.
And I found her TikTok. Probably not.
It's okay. Well, I'll get up next.
Okay. I find her Instagram. Because Pao was like, I need to know if I know her. Because Pao's from Miami. We should have Pao on.
We should. I was thinking that earlier.
Yeah. And then, what's it called? And then, so we find her Instagram. Because we couldn't that day. But then I did more investigative skills. Tried reverse image searching. Could not figure it out. Then just looked up her name. Found it. Then it's like, oh, this username on all socials. So I was like, TikTok. Go on my laptop because laptop has has no profile views whatsoever. I'm not even logged in on TikTok. So I was like, 66,000 followers. I said, let's tune in, Dallas. Let's go. We find out first off, mind you, she hates Miami apparently. But then on TikTok, she's like, all you need is in life is one weekend in Miami. All you need in life is this in Miami. All you need in life is Miami. I thought you hated Miami. Who the fuck are you lying to? And it better not have been me. So I was like, all right, whatever. Then we find that she used to be on the heavier side. And she did a weight loss tips TikTok, multiple. Her first tip always was put the fork down. I said, that's fucking crazy. Why are we so fucking harsh right now? Then we do more scrolling, more investigating. Find out she is which I already knew she was Jewish, but Jewish, bisexual, hardcore conservative. Now look, if you've listened to the past podcasts, you know I fucking hate Trump with a burning fucking passion. Sure, I could be friends with Trump supporters. Can't date one. Can't fucking date one. Because people who I know that I'm either friends or friendly with that are Trump supporters, I've had political conversations with them, and most of the time we're on the kind of same side, so I don't know why they're still Trump supporters, but that's besides the point, whatever. But I can't date one, especially a hard fucking core one, because abso-fucking-lutely not. She's like, oh, if your boyfriend voted for Kamala, you have a girlfriend. I said, okay, come up with a better diss, whatever. Next one. I voted for Kamala. Psych, my dad grew me.
My dad grew me.
My dad raised me to be a, I don't know, like independent woman that fights for people's rights. Okay. Sure. Next TikTok. I voted for Kamala. Psych. I have the 3 sisters, and we all deserve rights to our own body and the ability for free speech. I'm sorry, did Trump banning abortion sound like the rights to your own bodies? Doesn't to me, but hey, that's just my opinion. Then it's, I would never vote for Kamala because I like the ability to have free religion. Be so fucking for real right now. Be so fucking for real. You please tell me you know there is a separation of church. There's supposed to be a separation of church and fucking state, and apparently you don't fucking understand it. And then you're Jewish. How did Elon throwing up the fucking Nazi salute make you feel?
I would love to know.
I would love to know.
That was aggressive.
I'm so close to DMing her about it. Being like, so saw your TikToks. How did Elon throwing up the Nazi symbol or sign, what am I saying? Salute, make you feel as a Jewish conservative? Do you support that, or do you think that was a Roman salute? Like, are you fucking dumb? Then there was another TikTok. Oh fuck, I forgot what it was. Oh my god, what was it? Do you remember?
I need more context besides I don't remember which TikTok.
Oh fuck.
Oh. She thinks that God made her skinny.
Thank you. So, as I said, she had a weight loss journey, whatever. Dallas was like,
good for her.
Good for
But,
you.
like,
You don't need to rub it in people's faces, right? And she was like, me as a Christian, and like, it was when she had, I think she said she was like almost 300 pounds. Didn't look like 300 pounds. Kind of looked like she exaggerated, but whatever. And then it was like, then one day I was thinking about converting to Judaism, but I said no. And then my cross broke, and I looked at it as a sign. And then the next slide was me converting to Judaism. And it was just like her after the weight loss. And I was like, you're correlating your weight loss to converting to another religion. That's crazy. I don't care what religion it is. That's crazy in my opinion. But hey, that's just my opinion. So, in conclusion, no me gusta bitches. No me gusta people. And that is the first strike for Miami people. We have 2 more strikes. We're done with Long Island, bitches. For now. Let's see how long that lasts. And yeah. Oh, I think they just got. I don't know. So that's the first Miami person that has made me not like Miami. Now there are 2 more people waiting.
Who will they be?
Who will they be? Let's see. Hit me up. Yeah, I fucking can't do dating anymore. I think I've kind of given up. And then Pow hit me with it'll come when you least expect it. And I said, shut the fuck up before I slap your clit.
I know not to say that to you anymore.
Yeah. I said, I fucking hate when people say it. She was like, but it's true. And I was like, I'm sorry. Am I expecting fucking love right now? No. Would I like it? Yes. Whatever. Anyways, today, a few hours ago, this is my last point of the day. I unfollowed Tiana.
Did you?
Yeah.
Wow.
Because she's been posting mad on her private story.
Uh-huh.
And I told Dallas this morning, I said, I think she's trying to get someone to notice her. And it ain't going to be me. You going to notice me. I ain't noticing you.
Wow.
So I unfollowed her on Instagram. Not on Snapchat, though.
Yeah.
She's still in my private. I don't care. Wow. And that I will clip. I'm a little drama starter sometimes in my own life. And you know what? I don't care. Oh, actually, it's not my last one. My family got a dog.
Yeah.
It's called Wally. I'm gonna ask them to change the name when I get back, cause we know a Wally. We don't hate him, but I don't want to correlate Wally to my dog and my dog to Wally. I just think that's a bit weird. So I was thinking Wonka, or
I don't know why they didn't just keep the original name.
the original name is Wally.
No.
Nico was the brother, and then the Yo-Yo was the other brother. They were like 5
Oh.
brothers. Yeah,
Oh.
yeah.
Oh.
I would have been fine with Nico
Yeah.
or Yo-Yo, but Wally, no. Why don't we name him like Nemo?
Nemo.
I don't know. I'm just thinking of Disney characters now. Charming.
No.
Or like, I don't know. I think Wonka's kind of fire.
Wonka's cool.
We were thinking Willy, but that sounds too much like Wally, and I don't like that.
At least you're going for like a dog name.
Yeah. Or like Wolfie.
No.
Woofy. Wait, I saw a dad joke today. Fuck, what was it? Damn. Did I screenshot it? Please tell me I screenshotted it. I don't think I did. That's kind of embarrassing for me. But yeah, anyways, we're going to go on to our game.
Oh, we have a game?
Yeah, it goes back to my love life.
Oh,
so now
are we gonna rank them again?
we're going to rank them. Go.
Rank them in context of what?
Everything. You got to remember the names though.
Okay. Oh.
You got Carla.
Okay.
That was hometown 4th of July.
Okay.
Charlotte.
Yeah.
Tiana.
Okay.
Leandra.
Leandra.
Jada and Janine.
Okay. Is one the best?
Yeah.
Okay. Um. You know what? I'm gonna go Tiana 1.
Are you fucking kidding me?
I think she was just not in the right headspace.
I don't give a fuck. You let me know that. You don't say, "Oh, I don't know if I'm ready for a relationship, but I'm open." If I'm not ready for a relationship, leave it at I'm not ready
this way.
What?
Charlotte didn't tell you that she was in an open relationship.
And you know what?
It still led you
At
on.
least that was the closest thing. One of the closest things I got to a relationship. Okay? Yeah, still fuck you, Charlotte.
I think Leandra is lower than Charlotte.
Really?
Yeah, I think I'm deciding that now.
Wow.
Because at least Charlotte was at least a good friend to you.
Yeah, that's true.
Leandra just kind of like screwed you over.
Yeah, but I think...
And how are you going to break up with... I know it wasn't on Valentine's Day, but how are you going to break up with someone on Valentine's Day?
Yeah. Like...
Without any, like, heads up. She ghosted you for a few days.
For a week.
Before telling you that she was no longer interested.
But, like, my thing is, I feel like I'd rather... She still follows After Hours.
Good.
My thing is, I feel like... Currently, I'd rather Leandra walk back into my life than Charlotte.
Oh, yeah. Charlotte needs to just stay away.
Yeah, but you know Charlotte's not going to. I mean, it's
she has, though.
It's me. Can't stay away from this much longer. Look at all my ex-best friends. They've came crawling back.
Jada's just manipulative and a liar.
Jada's a weirdo, bro.
She's, like, shouldn't even be on the list.
No.
She's just non-existent in my head.
Yeah.
Janine?
Yeah.
Janine's just a weirdo and a conservative, and we can't really count her because you hung out with her for 3 hours and then that was it.
Yeah, I know.
She doesn't count.
Are we missing anyone?
Carla.
Carla
Sucks too.
Yeah, fuck Carla.
They all suck.
I sure know how to pick them. All right. Who do you not want walking back into my life, and who would you want out of all of them walking back into my life now?
Who would I not want in your life?
Yeah.
Jada.
Okay.
Janine. Charlotte. Carla.
Carla's just a weirdo at this point.
Yeah, but the way she handled that situation was just not good.
Fucked. Yeah. Okay. I do think, I don't know, maybe this is still like, she was a friend of mine. I mean, Carla was also a friend of mine, but I think if Charlotte came back, apologized to me, then my immediate reaction was, you have to apologize to all of my friends. And she was genuine.
Only if if her and her boyfriend break up.
Yeah.
Sure.
Well, right when they break up, she's coming right back to me. Duh. That bitch was fucking keeping her hostage from me. Could you blame him? I think we would need.
Leandra would really need to prove herself.
I think everyone would.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like, she would really need to like be so serious and actually put in a lot of effort.
Yeah, not say gag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Tiana would also have to be really apologetic. I think actually put effort. Like, I think she would need to put a lot of effort in.
Yeah.
Like, a lot. I
think realistically, Tiana would be the first one to come back.
She's also the most recent.
Yeah.
And, like, I think she still thinks, as a friend-ish.
Not anymore. I don't talk to her, but she still has me on her private.
Yeah.
I have her on my private so she can see how good I'm doing.
Yeah.
But I think coming back order would be Tiana, Leandra, Charlotte.
Yeah. Those were the three, like,
big ones.
Yeah.
Oh, Michelle.
Oh, wait.
Oh, I miss Michelle.
I wouldn't mind Michelle, actually.
I wouldn't mind, but if she moved here, I'm getting engaged to that bitch.
I wouldn't mind that.
No.
I think Michelle is my favorite.
That was the longest besides Charlotte.
I liked her.
Yeah, until she ghosted me.
Yeah.
And wouldn't explain anything. We see a pattern. Why is that?
The ghosting or the not explaining?
Everything. Why?
People suck.
Yeah. Anyways.
They're too scared of sharing their real feelings.
Yeah.
Vulnerability issues.
Yeah. Anyways, that's it for me, Liz.
Nothing.
All right. Take it away.
You can find me on Instagram at alyssa.o.
You can find me on Instagram at Ricky B. Rodriguez and TikTok at Ricky B. Rodriguez. And you can find me on YouTube at Ricky Rod Vlogs and Ricky Rod Music. Liz.
And you can find us on TikTok English and Instagram at afterhourspod.s and watch the behind the scenes videos that he makes.
Yeah.
I started the third one yesterday. I didn't finish it yet.
Perfect. Yeah. All right. Adios. See you next week.